Welcome back to another episode of the Xplore Podcast. I'm Prathiksha Arunkumar, pursuing my PGDM General Management of the batch 2627 at XLRI Jamshedpur, and we are recording at the Fulcrum 6.0, our consulting conclave, where we deep dive into how the consulting industry is navigating through disruptions, resilience, and strategic transformations. And today we have with us Mr. Krishna Prasad, the Vice President at CGI, who brings about 28 years of experience in the IT industry and consulting. A very warm welcome to you, sir.
Yeah.
So, you started out architecting a central data warehouse for reporting and risk analytics, and today you're Vice President of Consulting Delivery at CGI. If you had to pick the one moment on that climb where you stopped thinking like an engineer and started thinking like a business leader, what would it be?
Firstly, thanks for this podcast. You can call me KP. That's the easiest one for you. Uh, See, moving into data itself is a big decision, and the reason I will tell. Around 2003, 2004, doing coding development is something which everyone is passionate about. I completed my Microsoft certification, and then one fine morning, my manager called and said, "Do you want to move into the world of data? You don't do coding, you're just looking at data, doing analytics. What does that mean?" I didn't. That is something I chose. I thought, okay, let me give it a try. That changed my entire career graph. And of course, that it drove me into a passionate world where it became the one of the sought out field in the uh, entire IT field. So that's the decision I took in 2004, which got me here. But if you ask me, when did I change into the business mindset? I am very fortunate on two sides. One, I work with some of the leading Wall Street firms too early. And when we talk about Wall Street firms, you need to understand they lose entire money of the year in one day, one bad trading day. And that bad decision they take because of bad data quality. So our job is so important that I need to give them the right decision, right time. So if the report goes after 3:30, market is done, everything is lost. So that enabled me to think, okay, what is the reason business is really disappointed with us if we don't get the data to them on time? As long as we know it, otherwise you are just giving, dumping the data. Is the quality good? Is it right time? If you don't understand, you're of no use for it. So that's the big shift, I would say.
That's an interesting story, sir. So you've grown inside one organization for close to 2 decades, technical manager, then director, and now vice president. In an industry that's famous for job hopping almost every 2 to 3 years, what did CGI give you that made you choose to grow roots instead of chasing the next shiny title elsewhere?
Yeah, that's a very interesting one. Because right now 3 years is the average time. Now I'm almost 3 decades with CGI. But if I really look back, I didn't still find a reason why I need to do, and it's what really drives. Three big things I would say CGI is a bit different compared to others. Number one is ownership of culture, and we the way we are structured is starting from manager level. Everyone operates as COO, CEO, and what it means is you are responsible for your PNL, you're responsible for your people, whom you get, how you get, and what you pay is all decided at that level, which is very unique. At the same time, we have our own entrepreneurship culture, and I reported to three leaders till now, and I hardly remember a day where I had to go and explain them why I did this. I always need to go and tell this is my strategy, and after that they gave you free hand. So why do you change if you have it? If I look around at all my colleagues who left, I think by and large, maybe 1 or 2 years you might be lagging or leading, but on par, if you really look at it, uh, there is nothing I lost because I stayed in the same organization. But is it true with everyone? I don't want to say. I need to reskill myself. I need to stand in front of different business. I need to help organization during their challenging times. I can't sit and say, okay, I'm with the organization I grew. So it's a both sides. As long as you keep self motivating, that's what is important. A lot of people say, okay, unless you move to other organization, you don't get motivation because you get bored. Maybe that's something I found. And I have my next levels who are working at least 2 decades for me. And still we are growing, we are reinnovating ourselves, reinventing ourselves. Maybe that's something I felt self motivation and the kind of culture that CJ established helped.
Yeah, no, sir. 3 decades definitely speaks volumes for the culture of a company. And financial services and regulatory compliance don't forgive mistakes. Like one broken data pipeline, and a bank could be staring at an audit. Was there an early project where the weight of getting it right first really hit you? And how did that change the way that you build systems today?
This is very interesting thing. As I said earlier, right? Started working with a lot of Wall Street firms. Really, if you see, you're talking about so many products, tools, and all. If I take back 2 decades back, hardly we have anyone who knew so much about data in India, because that's the time everyone they come to the industry within 3 years, take a visa, go to US, Australia, somewhere. So we hardly have really that architecture mindset. People staying back and building that. When I started doing it, very luckily we had the opportunity to travel multiple times to the client location. So when we went there, we saw one of the things I told all my team members, and which I personally saw, sit with the business. When you sit with the business, right, they will not give you or tell you what exactly they want. But when you see what they are doing, that is when they are missing lot of minute details which help you to build the right platforms. And that is where I learned, do not take the requirements blindly. Try to see what they are not telling what they want. Otherwise, you will always end up in, okay, this is the strategy, this is where we ended up with. So, that building the frameworks which are sustainable long term and which exactly can are flexible at the same time, right? And today, if you see, everyone is going to cloud, everyone is telling Gen AI, I can do wonders with these things. We played literally with a lot of production frameworks which are flexible, that got us into creating one of the largest analytics platform. And this is was told by some of the client business leaders who came from other organizations. When they took over, they said, how as a third party provider you took ownership of building such a large platform which they never saw. So it's that is my feeling, that okay, it's an after effect. I thought, okay, there is something we built. And then I started telling all my teams, do not build platforms, always go to the client, see what they did not tell, and then start building. That's the key thing.
So sit with the business. That's
Sit with the business, see it through.
yeah.
Don't talk, see what they are doing. Just sit with them
So-
one day, see the entire thing. You will find at least 50% of things they are doing, and it is not intentional.
Mm.
It is just that there are assumptions. Maybe they say, okay, I go into the screen, but they are doing login,
Mm.
which they don't tell, because that's a standard thing. Then they click 3 buttons to go to that screen. All those 3 are gone. Now just look at Gen AI today. Unless you give the prompts right, it doesn't give you the right answers. So that's exactly morning. I think we are having the discussion about, will that button be pressed when that 5 ballistic missiles are done? Same thing here.
Yes. So you've led the shift from static reporting to strategic data lakes and cloud-first architecture. Tell us about a time a client's simple, we just want a dashboard request turned into something far bigger once you dug into what they actually needed.
So this is very interesting thing. Again, you need to understand how the industry is built. One of the unfortunate things in the data world is it's so big and vast. You have someone building a transactional system giving you the data. You have someone really trying to get the data and getting into a form where reports to be built. And there is another team which is building reports. So these 3 teams do not know what the others are doing. So one of the thing when I started is I'm always interested. I'm loading this data. Who is using it? What are they doing with it? And then we try to say, okay, there is a data layer, there is an ingestion layer, hosting layer, and analytics and business decision. If I don't know what business is doing, this entire chain it's in broken pieces. So always I try to understand what is the business requirement. Maybe there is a better way to even build the whole thing. And that changed the way we build platforms. At some point of time, we have consolidated close to 25 different siloed platforms for the client into one single thing, which helped them to understand how they are not able to cross sell the products to the clients, because these are all sitting in different places. The second thing, they are able to understand the product behavior or the buying patterns of the clients at different cycles. And the third one, which is uh, becoming a very famous topic after GenAI, but I'm proud that we built it much before all this AI GenAI came in. Of course, similar trends of analytics we did. The customer lifecycle journey. How do you follow them so that we can do the right financial planning for them in terms of investments? Because a bank or a financial institution is not about buying and selling, right? You have tons of offerings to be there. If you cannot offer the client everything, if you don't know what the client wants, that's exactly I said. It's not the dashboard enabling the decision making. If you understand at the end of the day they're trying to do it, the way you build will be different. That's something uh, I take pride in building in some of the largest implementations we did.
So you lead CGI's advanced analytics and AI communities of practice across APAC, effectively setting the tone for how an entire region thinks about AI. What belief about AI you held 2 years ago that you've had to quietly let go of?
I don't say I let go of something, but uh, there is a general industry trend, like cloud came, it went off, .com boom. We have seen too many trends coming and moving away. So to start with, we thought yes, AI will happen, but it will take 10, 20 years. At the speed at which it's not coming into weeks, one model we learn, by then another model, another product is coming. But one of the thing, I don't want to call it as a belief, I felt I need to do it differently, is you can't train a set of people to be experts in this AI world. You need the entire organization, starting from how you are hiring graduate who is talking to the external world, all the way till CEO. Everyone should know what exactly AI is doing in your organization to your clients and what is going to happen tomorrow. And we haven't seen this kind of change in the last, maybe after IT revolution really got introduced. So with that shift, we had to rethink how we need to imagine our workforce, and that had to bring in a lot of change in the way we need to train and accelerate our learning platforms. While we call it acceleration, the speed at which industry is happening, this acceleration is of no use. It's like we thought first gear to second gear is required, but that, so if you ask me what is it that changed, it will change tomorrow again if something else comes. So this is a continuous process. I don't say we had something 2 years back which changed now. It is changing almost on a weekly, daily basis. But one thing is for sure clear, there will be tons which will be thrown at all of us. Which one will, at what point it will be stable and people start picking up, we don't know. So till then we need to keep evolving. One of the question people ask me is, sir, if I get trained in this, will you give me job guarantee? My answer is simple. Maybe I can't give job guarantee, but if you don't get trained here, you are not eligible for next job. Because AI is going to be the fundamental shift in the entire industry. It doesn't depend which technology and which, by the way, Java, .NET, everything is getting commoditized. Data itself is getting commoditized. The product domains, I don't know if you saw Claude when they introduced, the entire legal business is gone.
Yeah.
So have you ever heard there is a company in Canada accelerated diverse process using AI. It's very unfortunate. Maybe India it will be happen or not. But is it ethical? Do you want to really accelerate diverse process instead of really helping them? If So that is the speed at which one we want to take, which one we want to slow down is what we need to see.
So we're looking at like a proactive mindset towards
Proactive
AI.
mindset, and you need to really think about keeping your strategy long term, at the same time making the course correction short term.
In financial services, AI promises speed and intelligence, but regulators demand explainability and control. How do you personally referee that tug of war between make it smarter and make it provable?
Have you heard about Mythos? No. Okay, you need to go and read about it. See, regulators are always there to safeguard the interest of the common man, but financial institutions are there to safeguard the interest of the broader community, of course. That is you and me, at the same time, the capitalists. So they want to introduce products, introduce themes which go into the market and make money faster. So you need to balance both. But what I personally feel after Mythos came in, we need regulation. And I will tell you what Mythos is. It can go and find out the vulnerabilities in every single product or IP in the market, which can be used by cybercrime within seconds. So US government halted the release of Mythos, telling if that goes out, the entire industry will go down. Now, if government, forget about regulators, government took a decision even before it going to regulators, like look at the impact that AI can do. There are at least 16 models as I see today are at various stages of validation by government. The reason is the industry is not ready to invest so much money to plug these gaps. So that is the biggest problem. Your entire financial systems will crash because they are the biggest IP providers. And cybercrime will be really flourishing if that happens. So that's where there are regulators who are required. At the same time, what we need to understand is there are places where regulators cross the boundaries, right? So that is where doing business in some parts of geography, including India. India sometimes will be very tough to do business in certain geographies. So we need to ensure there is a proper balance, and that's where IT plays into game, and how exactly the domain heads and IT heads work together to make sure the regulators are convinced at the end of the day, as long as your data is proving that entire lineage is good, you're fine. Otherwise, you saw how many frauds are happening in the banking world. And India is one of the best regulatory and governance framework we have. Still, it keeps happening. So it's not the framework which is missing; it is the implementation challenge, and that is where IT really can help, and GenAI can really add a lot of value.
Okay, so you work across geographies and business lines with very different digital maturity levels. How do you build one AI vision for teams at completely different starting points without boring the ones ahead or losing the ones behind?
So earlier you asked me the question on AI, right? You cannot have one vision. Um, if you really look at it, I work with Europe, Canada, and US as the three markets. US, Canada are different maturities. We know about it. But if I call Europe, it's a wrong term. UK has a different kind of strong regulations. Germany has certain regulations. France. So even within Europe, every country has different acceptance levels. So when you are building AI framework, you cannot define one standard. The day we do it, as you correctly said, it's not boring. Firstly, the people who are ahead in the race will really stop coming to you because you are selling them outdated stuff. Or the people who are really behind the race, forget about us. I'm talking about the clients.
Yeah.
Okay. And the second aspect is what are your accelerators to help the clients who are running behind. What clients are asking today is don't come to me with technology solution. You are the consultants. Come to me with the solution. If you are working with me for last 5 6 years, you know my challenges better. So don't come and sell a third party technology solution. Sell me and tell me why. So if I go to a one of the FMCG sector client and sell them something that I thought is worked well in financial services but can be used for FMCG. That is the kind of solution they're looking. It's no longer okay, bank solution works for bank because we never thought phones can replace the entire banking transaction systems. But that is so how can we see this cross-functional, cross-domain kind of solutions on AI we can sell across geographies. That is important thing. Like India saw RTGS way back. Now look at it, Europe is just starting. So that is the difference. Even we see all of us even don't understand when we say, okay, India is far more advanced in payments.
Yeah.
Not many people understand. We are. Just imagine you go, I'm here in Ranchi, you go outside, I see everyone having the Paytm transactions, no cash here.
Yes.
So it's very advanced.
Yes.
So that is where we need to ensure by geography and by vertical. Both are different levels of acceptance. So you cannot have one standard framework, but you can have accelerators which you can take across.
Yes. So consulting delivery leaders are judged as much on relationships as on architecture diagrams. Can you tell us about a client relationship that started rocky and what specifically turns around situations like those?
It's a very tough question, but I would say it's not a rocky, but I would say slow start.
Yes.
You will have different clients with different levels of acceptance. Maybe I would take the case of which is happening recently, and it's a eye opener for me. We have a client who said we ourselves are doing quite a lot of restructuring, so you need to wait. I said okay, we'll not wait. This happened 2 years back. Then we thought we don't want to bore and every time go and keep asking. Then it doesn't look nice. So we waited. And we know there are multiple players in the game and they have much better say. And so we are a small player out there. Then I thought, okay, maybe there is a gameplay there. We will slowly enter. I spoke a couple of times, nothing happened. But last 9 months, I'm consistently seeing more and more inclination towards us. So I asked them, what exactly changed? By the way, it's not something we did in purpose. That's something we are doing consistently. What they said is, in the world of AI, they don't need scale. They need trust. They need people who are approachable and listening to them. And that's where they felt we are not in their scale partner, but we are in the preferred partner whom they can trust and are approachable. So that's what they're looking. I can dump 100 people and go after 6 months and ask for my billing rates, or be there with them when they are going through tough journey and give the quality consultants that they're looking for. So once they saw it coming, they started coming to us. So that's where I said it's not rocky, but when the GCC emergence, you see India is becoming a big hub of the go-to market strategy. So in that, the way we need to approach clients will be different. Maybe tomorrow you might be in a GCC leading the thing. The way the decisions are happening that's exactly I'm saying. It's I don't say rocky, but I say the way we start and establish, the results might come 6 to 9 months down the line. But be in front of the client, make sure you are talking to them, understand have that empathetic view. Then it's all yours.
Consistency really pays.
Consistency is from your team, empathy is from you towards the client.
Yeah.
Communicating that empathy,
Yeah.
that's the key.
So you've built and mentored communities of practice where people are expected to learn out loud in front of peers. What's something a junior team member taught you that changed how you would approach a problem?
Oh, there are multiple things I really like learning from the teams. But one thing I want to focus on is don't try to be good leader for your teams, because they don't want you to be nice. They want you to be the right leader. So sometimes you need to really push them, give them hard nudge, because that's what get them to come out of their comfort zones. I personally have seen time and again, even now on September 5th, so many people in the last 20 years, they keep sending me messages. You always sat with us and gave us that career break, which they keep giving to the next level. So, what you need to understand is you as a leader need to make sure you are the right mentor. Don't try to be good, don't try to be nice. So a lot of people want to say, okay, are you having time? Not having time. No. In the Gen A world, that's what I said, right? It's not training one person across the board, you need to train. And that is something I learned during the initial days when I was talking to people and trying to uh, mentor them. When they came and gave me the feedback, okay, this is what is expected of it, and that I started doing. I don't want to overdo, then I'll kill them. But that's exactly what is. There should be a healthy discussion between the junior most members, and when I say juniors, it's not just my next level. Almost, I would say the entry level people, because they are passionate, they are very hungry to do things. So that is where give them what they want, right? Give them more. They can definitely chew, but if you want to be very nice, give them only little, then they will not be happy. That's where you talk about earlier, right? Attrition. That's where they keep moving across the industry.
Yeah. So, if you were mentoring an MBA student who wants to be where you are in 15 years, VP of Consulting, Delivery at a global firm, what's one piece of advice you'd give them that has nothing to do with technology?
Frankly, today, even IT firms, no one want IT people, technology folks. It is domain, it is understanding how it is playing across the geographies, and be be very open in taking up the roles. One of the biggest challenge what we see today is the world is changing fast. So very unfortunately, by the time you complete your 1 year session, I think morning we were talking, right? Fulcrum 10.0, the world is different.
Yeah.
So Fulcrum 6.0 to 7.0 world would have changed. So understand by the time you come out of this current MBA, world would have really invented another 10 models, another 3 new product lines would have come. So try to see what is your right path and be ready to traverse in a different path within a short point. When we started, we had a lot of time to really choose our paths, but right now you have very short, and we including us. Okay, we are all trying to learn and live by quarter by quarter by quarter, and that is exactly what you need to. Otherwise, once the pressure hits you when you come into the industry, your thought process will impact, and that's where your strategic direction will be changing. So be prepared for a aggressive world, and after that you will get adjusted and your strategic thinking will be in the right direction.
Thank you, sir. So, a quick rapid fire round. Um, would you go on gut instinct or data? Which one wins more often in a real crunch?
I would have always said data, with exception today morning I heard uh, that nuclear bomb button story from the professor. I was thinking, okay, definitely data would have given a wrong message at that time. But by and large, yes, if we can uh, rely on data, that's the best bet. And right quality data.
Data. So, the most overused buzzword in Indian IT today?
AI, Gen
Yeah.
AI.
Yes. One dashboard metric that you secretly don't trust.
Utilization.
Oh.
The reason I would say we need to invest on training, but not many people think, okay, that's worth it at this point of time, because we are all under tremendous pressure.
So, one word your team would use for you when you're not in the room.
I don't know what to say. It's hardly a day where I'm not with them.
Not in
But
the room.
yeah, they always keep telling 24/7 maniac. But yeah, I keep traveling all the time. But I am always I'll always be active in WhatsApp, chatting with them. Like there is time beyond WhatsApp and running around, try to sleep.
Okay, so there is not a room without your presence there.
I don't know. I enjoy the company of them. They are working for 20 years, so
Yeah.
it's always an active
Yeah.
engagement. They're extended family, obviously.
So that's all, sir, for today. Thank you
Yep,
so
thank
much
you.
for this very insightful conversation. Drew a lot of insights from this conversation. And thank you all for tuning in. Thank you.
Thank you.